Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. DM Geezer Jim here. Continuing on, we're going to finish Chapter 2 of the 2024 DM's Guide. Finally, character advancement will be our last section. A little bit of stuff to chat about in this one. Some interesting ways to handle character advancement and character rewards. Some more stuff in Chapter 3, but this is the basics about character advancement. As usual, reading line by line, word by word, getting into it. And I'll try to save any commentary, personal opinions towards the end of this, at the end of the episode. That way, you guys can just get into audiobook mode and listen and hopefully learn. So let's get to it here. Chapter 2, Running the Game. The final section is character advancement. So, character advancement. Experience points fuel level advancement for player characters and are most often the reward for completing combat encounters. Awarding experience, XP. Each monster has an XP value based on its challenge rating. When adventurers overcome one or more monsters, typically by killing, routing, capturing, or cleverly avoiding them, they divide the total XP value of the monsters evenly amongst themselves. If the party receives substantial assistance from one or more NPCs, count those NPCs as party members when dividing up the XP, since the NPCs made the challenge easier. See also non-player characters in Chapter 3. Non-combat challenges. You decide whether to award XP to characters for overcoming challenges outside of combat. If the adventurers complete a tense negotiation with the Baron, forge a trade agreement with the Guild of Surly Smiths, or safely navigate the Chasm of Doom, you might decide that the characters deserve XP. As a starting point, use the rules for building combat encounters in Chapter 4 to gauge the difficulty of the challenge. Then award the characters XP as if they had been a combat encounter of the same difficulty. The next thing is going to be milestone. You can also award XP when characters complete significant milestones. When preparing your adventure, designate certain events or challenges as milestones, as with the following examples. Accomplishing one in a series of goals necessary to complete the adventure, discovering a hidden location or piece of information relevant to the adventure, or reaching an important destination. When awarding XP, treat a major milestone as a high difficulty encounter and a minor milestone as a low difficulty encounter. Other milestone rewards. If you want to reward your players for their progress through an adventure with something more than XP and treasure, also give them small rewards at milestone points such as the following. They gain the benefits of a short rest. They can recover a hit point die or a level 1 spell slot, or they can regain the uses of magic items that have had their limited uses expended. Leveling up. Some DMs let characters gain the benefits of a new level as soon as the characters have the required XP, which gives the players the joy of using a new feature and spells they gain immediately. Other DMs prefer to wait until the characters take a long rest or until the end of a session before letting characters level up, which keeps the adventure flowing smoothly and lets players pore over their new options during a lull in the action or between sessions. Do what works best for your group. If a character levels up outside of a long rest, the character's current hit points and hit point maximums both increase by the appropriate number for the new level, and the character gains access to additional abilities and spell slots, if appropriate, without regaining any that are already expended. Variant. Optional rule. Training to gain levels. Old school people remember this. As a variant rule, you can require characters to spend time between adventures training or studying before they gain the benefits of a new level. This variant slows the passage of time in the game world, which can help support a more realistic or gritty tone in your campaign. If you choose this option after earning enough experience points to attain a new level, a character must train for a number of days before gaining any class features associated with the new level. You can decide whether the character can train independently or requires a trainer. The training time required depends on the level to be gained, as shown on the training to gain levels table. The training cost is for total training time. So to go from levels 2 through 4, each level will take 10 days, and each level costs 20 gold. From levels 5 to 10, each level could take 20 days, and each level would cost 40 gold in training cost. 11 to 16 is 30 days of training time each, with 60 gold pieces of training cost per level. 17 through 20 is 40 training days per level and 80 gold pieces per level. This is a short section, man. Wow. Shit. We might start Chapter 3. No, I'm probably going to sum up all of the Chapter 2 stuff at the end of this a little bit a little bit of commentary. So level advancement without XP. You can do away with XP entirely in advanced characters based on how many sessions they play or when the characters accomplish significant story goals. This method of level advancement can be particularly helpful if your campaign doesn't include much combat or includes so much combat that tracking XP becomes tiresome. Session-based advancement. A good rate of session-based advancement is to have the characters reach level 2 after the first session of play, level 3 after another session, and level 4 after 2 more sessions. Then spend 2 or 3 sessions for each subsequent level. Above level 10, you can speed the rate of advancement so the characters gain a new level every 1 or 2 sessions. This assumes your sessions are about 4 hours long and include encounters of varying difficulty, ending with a significant milestone as described above. You can adjust the rate if you prefer significantly shorter or longer sessions and to account for how much your group accomplishes in a typical session. The next section is story-based advancement. Rather than having the characters gain a level after a certain number of sessions, you can instead tie up their advancement to accomplishing particular goals in the campaign. When the characters achieve these goals, they level up. Try to plan significant campaign goals so the characters gain levels at about the same rate as for session-based advancement. That's it. That's character advancement. That's what we got. This was a nice, quick, short little chapter, so this will be a quick, short video. I do have some personal commentary on this stuff. XP or milestone, it's up to you. It's up to your group. But I do recommend making sure that you're clear with your group and understanding that if you are doing an XP-based campaign, your group's more likely to veer towards the murder hobo towards the murder hobo style behavior. If they know the more they kill, the faster they level, or the more encounters that they start and even resolve without going into combat equals experience for them, plan on them being very aggressive. Plan on them being that's the easiest way to say it, is aggressive. They're going to look for fights when there shouldn't be fights. They're going to start fights and try to resolve them no matter what, whether it's through the end of the sword or through the end of the dialogue, so they can gain that experience point. So if your players know that your campaign advancement is completely driven by XP value for encounters, expect them to look for a lot more encounters. More encounters means more XP. More XP means I level faster. What's the big deal? You set this system up. So please be aware of that. Milestones can go the other way, and I'm guilty of this personally. I drag out leveling a lot slower because I run on milestone. For me, it's when they're ready for the next level, when they're ready for the next tier of encounter is when I level them on a milestone. Not when they've accomplished certain things, but when I think that they're ready for the next step. Milestoning can be very subjective, and it can bother certain players. So make sure that you're having a discussion with your group during your session 0 in regards to what XP they prefer. If you plan on leveling the party slowly, make sure they understand this at the start of your campaign. If you plan on leveling them quickly, make sure you start. The one thing you got to do, though, whatever method you use, is please be consistent. If you start out with milestone and you think in every 2 or 3 levels I'll have them level up, and you're or every 2 or 3 sessions I'm going to have them level up, and you're 15 sessions into the game and they're only level 5 because you said every 2 or 3 sessions I'm going to level them up, and then you're like, this is boring, I need them to go faster, and all of a sudden you start leveling them every session, that's going to break the immersion in the world. That's going to break the pacing of your play. Not to say you can't do it once in a while, but try to make sure that you're consistent with your leveling. Now, the non-combat challenges that they suggest is the same thing. Not everything has to be a fight. If you want to give them XP for opening a door, give them XP for opening a door. But remember, whenever you reward your players with experience, they're going to see that as precedent and expect it moving forward. So if you're giving XP for picking a lock, they're going to try to find every lock in the game and pick it, because that's just the mechanics there. Sometimes the drive to advance their characters supersedes the spirit of the game. Okay, leveling up, I like that they are suggesting the training time again. That used to be a standard requirement for back in 1E, 2E, and some of 3E stuff. Nowadays you have people leveling right after a fight, long rest after a fight. We're now level 8, yay, look at us, go kick some ass. You're going to do this, again, this is a discussion that you need to have with your group. But there are some certain factors that come into the instant ding versus the training time. You can find your middle ground wherever you want. I like the training time thing And I think with the advent of the bastions that we'll read about in chapter 8 and a few of the other things that are that are being presented in this book for more long-term story building rewards rather than just levels, I think the training thing now has a little bit more of a value, okay? This will be a quick video. Last but not least, like I said, the story-based advancement is what I prefer. When we are at certain points in the story, when we're about to escalate to go from ogres to giants, I need you guys to level up. So I'm going to give you a level. I'm not going to make you go find 20 orc villages to burn to get to the next level. When I need you there, I'm going to get you there. But the players that enjoy the min-maxing, the counting, and all that, they might prefer the experience point driven leveling rather than that. But above the overall, there's not a ton to say about the character advancement in chapter 2. Other than make sure you decide what you prefer as a dungeon master. Make sure that method fits the the style of adventure you're planning, the style of campaign that you're planning. And above all else, make sure that your players understand the system that you're putting forward and are agreeing with it. You don't want players getting pissed off and quitting your campaign because they're not leveling fast enough. You don't want the campaign ending and getting out of hand because you're leveling them up quicker than your abilities are to keep pace with it. Your characters should grow as your skills grow. Your characters should advance in experience as you are becoming more used to them playing. When you realize that they're hitting a synergy and all of that kind of stuff, they're playing better, you need to level them up. You don't want to give them levels that you're not capable of meeting. If you're a new dungeon master and you've never ran a level 10 encounter before, you don't want to start your campaign at level 10. You don't want to advance them so quickly that you overwhelm yourself either. So those are my little bits of personal advice in regards to character advancement. This is a quick section, so I got to fill up a few more minutes with my opinions, yay me, right? But hey, this is the end of chapter 2. We're finishing on character advancement. The next few sections, there's probably going to be a lot of videos for chapter 3 because chapter 3 is pretty thick. This is our toolbox. This is the DM's toolbox. So apologies in advance, but we're going to get a lot more videos coming out for chapter 3. Hey, thanks a lot. Likes, follows, subscribes are appreciated. Join us on Twitch for more in-depth discussions. Feel free to leave some comments if you have them. But we'll see you back on this channel soon. Take care.